Hare Krishna. So, very good evening, all of you. And again, from my side, from Nitaichandra and Nimai Das, wishing you best wishes that till now all of you are still there accompanying with us in Bhagavad Gita course. So, today we are here out for the discussion of 10th chapter. Okay, thank you so much for all of your prompt response, and hope everything is fine. Audio visual is okay. So we shall be going ahead with our discussion of 10th chapter. Hare Krishna. So I'm just going to present the slide. So yeah, Hare Krishna. So again, as we had been discussing our all those chapters, we have the same sequence for 10th chapter as well. The recap, then the chapter overview, chapter contents, life lesson, chapter summary. So let's go ahead. So before that we start, I would like to invoke the mercy and blessings of Acharyas as well as Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna by a small little prayer. And hopefully all of you would join me in chanting these prayers, which is so wonderfully composed by Vaishnava Acharyas. Okay? So let me just check out some. Yeah, I have just muted you, all of you, and you're not able to unmute yourself because sometimes some noises comes from background. So I will let you again unmute yourself and speak out, of course. And also one request that please take good amount of notes. And at the end of this class, you are going to share your take home points. Okay. So that too in the WhatsApp group, which has been open for all of you now to comment and write anything. Okay. So let's go ahead with our small little prayer. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा. So in chapter 9 we will have this small little recap of chapter 9. So from first sloka till third sloka in chapter 9 we saw that what is the secret access to most secret knowledge. So in that we saw that faithfulness toward Krishna as well as the faith and Shraddha, that's what's called endearing nature toward Krishna as well as the process is actually the secret access to get the most secret knowledge which is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita chapter 9. Okay, so then we saw from 4th sloka till 10th sloka what is Krishna's relationship with this world. So as I already told you that 7th chapter and 9th chapter goes very in a similar fashion. Okay, so the same build up, same like stages are there in 9th chapter as well in as it is there in 7th chapter. So Krishna is how he is spread throughout the universe with his unmanifest form, how Krishna is still beyond this universe, even though he is pervaded throughout the whole material cosmos into his with his diverse energies. Still he is there out of this world, out of this universe, in his personal form in Vaikuntha. Okay, so in that way he tells that I am there into this universe as well as out of this universe. So see my this divine potency. Okay, so Krishna's understanding never starts before understanding Krishna's inconceivable nature. That's what we saw, a very powerful lesson. So unless we understand that Krishna cannot be understood with our simple little brain, the understanding of Krishna never starts. Okay, so we have to understand that we cannot understand Krishna. Okay, so from 11th to 25th sloka we saw Krishna's, destination of people, those who actually deriding Krishna, and destination of those people, those who adore Krishna. Okay, so what is that? By adoring Krishna, result is there. Ultimate result is that living entity breaks that bondage of repeated birth and death and reaches to the eternal abode of Supreme Godhead. Okay, and those who are deriding Krishna, what is special for them? They are engaged into very heavy work, very heavy mental speculation, or could be uh, meditation or anything. But ultimately, the result of these all things they won't reap. Okay, so their all hopes, asha, their efforts, uh, their activities, their karma, and their jnana, the knowledge, all becomes futile ultimately. Okay, never ending to the ultimate success. Okay, so then we saw from 26 to 34 sloka how Krishna's power is supreme power of Krishna bhakti. The supreme power of Krishna bhakti is such that even the person who is lowly born, or even the person who is actually engaged in the service of Krishna, sometimes may get deviated or commit some sins, but still Krishna never takes very seriously of that. He just simply wipes out that, and he still considers him to be far, far better situated than common people who had no connection and no tinge of devotion to Krishna. Okay, so Krishna Bhakti is Krishna Bhakti burns up all sins. How it burns up, we saw that cycle, the sin cycle from committing sin. After that, how it slowly it comes to the fruits, and after that, how the cycle of sin keeps going because of the impressions of sinful tendencies and like the desires, and again the sin, the again tendencies, the desire, and sin. This whole cycle keeps moving like this. So how Krishna becomes especially aligned with his devotees. Okay, that's also we saw in the last slokas, that how even though there are some discrepancies in the behavior of devotees, Krishna won't take it very, very seriously. And okay, so now let's go ahead with our chapter 10. Okay, so again we have divided chapter 10 into 4 sections. Okay, so these 4 sections, what are they? From first sloka till seventh sloka mention Krishna is Krishna is origin of all creatures as well as all qualities. Okay, so this is called Vibhuti Yoga. The chapter in which Krishna's opulences are described. Krishna describes his opulences. So Krishna starts with him, with that only, being very, very happy with Arjuna. He tells that I have told you confidence and knowledge. I have told you more confidence and knowledge. And I have even told you most confidence and knowledge in 9th chapter. But Arjuna, I'm very much happy with you. I want to tell something more than that. Okay, so he builds up that, and after that, from 8th to 11th sloka, Krishna summarizes the whole Bhagavad Gita into 4 slokas. Okay, very, very interesting slokas. These slokas are called chatuh-Sloki Bhagavad Gita, or the whole Bhagavad Gita in just 4 slokas. Okay, so these 4 slokas are gist of whole Vedanta knowledge or whole Vedas, in which what is the relationship with Paramatma and Atma, what is the process to attain him, and what happens after attainment. All 3 things are very vividly described. Okay, from in 3rd section, it's mentioned Arjuna's affirmation of Krishna's opulences and his divine hunger. Okay, he is very hungry to hear more and more and more about Krishna. And after that, we see in the last section from 19th till 42nd sloka, Krishna's unlimited opulences are described by Krishna himself. Okay, so now let's go ahead. Section 1. Okay, Krishna is origin of all creatures and all qualities. So I'm very happy to recite this very wonderful sloka, the first sloka. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Bhuya eva mahabaho srinu me paramam vachaha yatte aham priyamanaya vakshami hitakamyaya. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, listen again, O mighty armed Arjun, because you are my dear friend. For your benefit, I shall speak to you further, giving knowledge that is better than what I have already explained. So till 9th chapter, Krishna has told, I'm telling you the most secret knowledge, which is king of all knowledge, Raj Vidya, Raj Goyam. But Krishna being very, very happy and pleased, I mean, with his devotee Arjuna, he is telling that I will speak to you even further, giving knowledge that is better than what I have already explained. Okay, so Krishna reveals his opulence, which is so very dear to hear for devotees specifically. Okay, so Krishna reveals his opulence. Why? Because the two reasons. Arjuna being endearing to Krishna. Okay, so Arjuna is the eternal endearing friend of Krishna. Okay, and as well for Arjuna's benefit. And we see that Arjuna is telling further to describe his opulences because he wants his fellow mates, I mean, his fellow living entities in this world, like for us, so that they could also hear, we could also hear the glories, the opulences of Supreme Divinity, Supreme Godhead. And in this way, our life, our human life also could be a success. Okay, so life lesson for all of us in this section is we can understand Krishna only in the proportion of our loving reciprocation with him. Okay, so this is not Krishna subject, is not a subject of mental exercise. It's not a physics, chemistry, mathematics, or history, geography, anything sort of. Krishna understanding is unless Krishna understanding never gets revealed unless Krishna decides himself to be revealed. Okay, so it's perfectly from the part of Krishna. The Krishna becomes very pleased by devotional service, then he reveals himself. Otherwise, he remains closed into curtain, yoga maya samavritaha. So this is a very, very important life lesson for all of us, that unless we advance in the proportion in Krishna consciousness, in devotion to Krishna, Krishna never reveals himself. Okay, so now Krishna goes ahead in second chapter, second sloka. Even rishis and demigods cannot understand me. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. Nami vidushargana prabhavam namaharshaya aham adir hi devanam maharshi nam cha sarvashah. Krishna says, see, for me, to me, even great demigods, Surgana, they cannot understand. And Maharshis also cannot understand. Great rishis like Bhrigu and Durvasha. Because I am the origin of both of them. I am origin of both of them. So there are two reasons why they are not able to understand the same reasons. Because they are born from Krishna. Aham adirhi devanam. He is beginning of all those devas and Maharshis as well. A reason two is their lack of surrender. Okay, so we have seen in the example of great demigods, like greatest of the demigod, Lord Brahma. When Krishna came just 5,000 years before, even though he came after informing Brahma, after Brahma's request, only Krishna appeared. But still, Arjuna's head got, I mean, the Brahma's head had fully puzzled. I mean, he has 5 heads, right? We have only 1 head. He had 4 heads. So 4 heads started, thinking that who is this person, a small little boy loitering in the forest of Vrindavan, along with simple cowherd boys, having a stick in his one hand and some rice mixed with curd with another hand, roaming around in like just like a cowherd boy, a simple insignificant boy. So how Krishna could be like this? My supreme God Narayana, how he could be roaming around like this? So he got puzzled, and ultimately we see he committed mistake. And we see Bhrigus, Durvasas, they are also having great power, and still they are not able to understand because they many times lack surrender. Okay, they are great personalities into this material world universe, but because of lack of surrender, they mistake Krishna to understand. Okay, so now let's go ahead. Krishna, the source of all qualities in living beings. Krishna tells that, "O Arjuna, I am all the qualities into different living beings as well as in this mortal world. Intelligence, knowledge, freedom from doubt and delusion, forgiveness, truthfulness, control of senses, control of mind, happiness, distress, birth, death, fear, fearlessness, non-violence, equanimity, satisfaction, austerity, charity, fame, and infamy. All these various qualities of living beings are created by me alone." So Krishna only creates this all different qualities which is there actually available into this material world, immortal world. Everything is created by him. Krishna is the source of secondary creation. How now? Krishna has already told that I am creating earth, I am creating fire, I have created the the wind. I have created everything. There are 8 mind, intelligence, and ego. Everything is created by me. In 7th chapter he tells. But in this particular chapter, Krishna goes ahead to tell how he is actually the source of secondary creation. Also, secondary creation means all those jivas like soul, how they get embedded in the matter, and different forms of living entities this come out. Like we are, all of us are, the soul had got embedded into a particular arrangement of the body, particular arrangement of earth, water, fire, air, ether, and we are animated, we are moving ahead. Okay, we are moving here and there. So he is the source of that too. Okay, so we know this is called universe. Okay, we know supreme godhead, he expands himself as Mahavishnu. Okay, he expands himself as Mahavishnu, and from Mahavishnu in Vedas it's mentioned, Yasaika Nishwasita Kalam Athavalambya Jivanti Loma Vilaja Jagadandanatha. So all the universes are coming from the pores of Mahavishnu. So we know we have also pores in our body, and when we sweat, like now I'm sweating quite a bit. So what happens, as sweat, small droplets comes out. Similarly, Mahavishnu is such a great personality that from his pores universes comes out, and that we cannot figure out from where it's coming. But of course there are many scientists that after searching out from where the universe is coming, they are into universe, into such a most insignificant corner of the universe. I mean, that is earth, and in that earth most significant corner of their chamber, and having very small little brain, and they're thinking that they could find out, they could figure out what is the origin of this universe. Impossible, that's impossible. But Vedas tells that how universe has been created. He tells directly that it has come from Mahavishnu, but Mahavishnu is just a fraction of the fraction of Supreme Lord Krishna, okay, who is there eternally existing in spiritual abode, Goloka Vrindavan. Okay, so from his pores, Mahavishnu's pores, hair pores, universes are coming, multi universes we can see in the picture. Like one of them, like every universe is almost similar. Okay, some are big, some are small, and all of them are after exhalation of Mahavishnu increasing into their size like this. It's increasing. So till now, scientists has told also that universe is expanding. So that's true. That's also Vedic version. But what is the creation? What is the source of creation? They have hardly have any knowledge of. Okay, so he is also, Krishna is also the source of secondary creation. So then Mahavishnu is beyond universe. To maintain every particular universe, Mahavishnu expands himself as another Vishnu who enters into every universe as Garbhodakshai Vishnu. If you are able to see, here is the Garbhodakshai Vishnu. You're lying down into the Garbhodak ocean, and there he originates the first living being, and his name is Brahma. Okay, from his navel, and from navel a very grand, very huge lotus comes out. I mean, of course, in front of Mahavishnu, these are all insignificant, but for us, it's huge like anything. The whole universe is actually spread with this particular lotus, and upon that, Brahma gets originated, and Brahma is born there. So in this way, after Brahma, so many living entities are born from Brahma. Okay, so what is the result of knowing this all opulences? First is that by knowing this particular knowledge, what I am describing now, of course, Krishna has described in Bhagavad Gita, all the sins of people, those who and knowing this particular fact will get burned away. Okay, and second is that it will guarantee engagement in unalloyed devotional service of Supreme Godhead. The first is burns away all sins. This particular knowledge of opulences of Krishna will burns away all sins. Okay, and second is that it will guarantee engagement in bhakti for sure. Okay, so I think all of you are quite very much now ready to hear more and more and more of opulences of Krishna. If you are ready, then please let me know by writing in the chat box, ready. Okay, so there are many, many opulences, what Krishna himself is going to describe in this particular chapter. Okay, so yeah, so yes, I see some of the responses. Okay, so all of you are ready. Okay, thank you so much. Kunal, Diptiranjan, Amutha. Uh, yeah. So, life lesson for all of us that a novice, a new person, can say God is great. Okay, some people they have little faith or some type of clinging with some so-called religion. They may say that God is great, but an advanced student of science of God must know how that God is great. Not simply God is great, God is love, God is light. Okay, man, come on. How is that so? Which is so vividly mentioned in Bhagavad Gita and more elaborately in Srimad Bhagavatam and many other Vedic scriptures. Okay, that we have very, we have access to. Okay, now let's go ahead. So, live lesson, section 2. So, gist of Gita in 4 slokas. So, these 4 slokas from 10.8 to 10.11, these are actually slokas which summarizes the whole Bhagavad Gita. The whole 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, it summarizes, as well as this is the whole summary or the essence of whole Veda, practically, the 4 slokas. Very, very important slokas. And that's why these 4 slokas are called chatuh-Sloki Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so now we shall be going ahead. The first chatuh-Sloki Bhagavad Gita, which is 10.8. Lord Krishna says, Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. I am source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. Okay, so this is Supreme Godhead himself is telling, what? I am the source of spiritual and material worlds. Just finish. I am the source. I am the ultimate end. Everything emanates from me. Those who are intelligent, those who are wise, no, they will perfectly know this fact nicely. And knowing this, what they will do, they will not simply sit keeping hand to hand, but they will be very heartily, with all their hearts, they will engage themselves into my devotion service. Okay, so here we see 2 things are mentioned. As I have already told you, there are 3 objectives of whole Vedas. 3 objectives. First is objective of connecting Atma, making aware to the Atmas or the living entities the relationship of theirs with Krishna or the Narayana or Paramatma. Okay, so that's called Sambandha, the Sambandha Gyan, knowledge of relationship. And after that, it comes Avideya, the process to connect. Okay, there could be many processes. Like we have already discussed so far, Karma Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, and so far Gyan Yoga and all stuff. But here, Krishna himself is telling what is that process. And what he tells bhajante, means they engage themselves in my devotional service. So 2 objectives is rightly mentioned into this particular sloka. Okay, so Lord Krishna is source of all matters, which have been explained in 7th chapter. And also we see Krishna is only the creator of the living beings, starting from Lord Brahma till the smallest living beings. He is the creator of different qualities as well. Okay, so the test of most intelligent person is that he is engaged in the devotional service of Supreme Lord. Okay, once again, same thing coming. Krishna with all their hearts. That's why it is told, there is a very famous proverb, Jai Krishna bhaje sai bado chatur. Those who are engaged in devotional service of Krishna, they are the most chatur, the most intelligent people into this world. Okay, now let's go ahead. 10.9. What is the symptoms of those most intelligent people who engages in devotion of Krishna? Okay, so here Avideya is very elaborately mentioned. What is the symptom? What is called that particular process? Okay, what happens to those people, those who engage themselves in Krishna's devotion? So, Matchitta Madagat Prana Bodhayanta Parasparam Kathayantascha Mam Nityam Tushyanti Charamanti Cha. Krishna says, the thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me. Okay, so these are the symptoms of those people, those who are actually in the process to connecting, in the process of connection with Supreme Divinity, Supreme Godhead Krishna. Okay, what their thoughts is always dwell in me. Their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction. They become perfectly super happy when they get the chance and opportunity to speak about Krishna and their glories, like now I've got by all of your blessings. Okay, so they get great bliss and satisfaction, always enlightening one another and conversing about me. Okay, so this is what the source of premananda, the greatest happiness, which is actually originating from the loving relationship between a jiva and a Krishna. Okay, so life lesson for from this particular section is that if you really want real satisfaction and bliss, there is no other way than engaging in devotional service of Krishna with pure Sravanam and Kirtanam. Okay, so then in 10.10, this is the third sloka of chatuh-Sloki. Lord Krishna says, Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayantite. So Krishna tells here that what happens when one gets connected. Okay. So when one gets connected, even though one person is there in this particular material world, he can remain connected with Supreme Godhead. Okay, this is the perfection of yoga. He tells, Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mamu upayantite. To those who are constantly devoted to my serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. Okay, so Krishna is practically there in everyone's heart. All of our heart, Krishna is there. Everyone, whether any living entity, it could be a small little amoeba, a coronavirus, or elephant, a dog, Brahma, anyone, everyone. Paramatma never leaves anyone. But when a human being, because human being only can understand these particular facts, and he becomes progressive in getting connected with Krishna, Krishna being in heart, he guides him. He guides him with great love. He gives all the understanding by which he can come to Krishna back again. Krishna starts reciprocating. Krishna provides understanding so that devotee can return to him. Krishna dwelling in the heart extinguishes all darkness by the lamp of transcendental knowledge. So, Tesam Jnana Deepena Bhashvata, by the lamp of the transcendental knowledge, all that darkness which is there into the heart of that person who takes up the progressive path of Krishna consciousness, is simply just get extinguished, get finished off. Okay, so how much darkness for how many millions of years it could be, the darkness cannot claim that, oh man, oh my dear light, you are just coming now, but I am there for so many lifetimes into this place, I cannot go away. No, he cannot tell us that. No matter how much darkness for how many millions of years it could be, when light of devotion comes into the heart of any living entity, that light immediately vanishes, vanquishes that darkness. Okay, darkness cannot claim the possession of that particular place. Okay, so now life lesson from all of us, for all of us, that transcendental knowledge does not depend upon the academic credentials, but solely on the devotional fervor. Okay, so many times people then say that these devotees are maybe fanatics or sentimentalists. They are engaged in service of God, Krishna. They are sentimental. Suppose so many times some people may say, but it's not so, because Krishna is there into the heart. He illuminates all that conclusions of Vedanta automatically, even though he don't know how to read. Even of course, when somebody know how to read and write, that's great. If somebody can read Bhagavad Gita, if somebody can read Vedanta sutras, and of course all those Srimad Bhagavatam and Narad Bhakti Sutras and all stuff. But even though if somebody is, I mean, not so much academically accomplished, still Krishna being in the heart, he gives all that knowledge automatically. Okay, so now let's go ahead. Section 3 we have. So from 12th sloka till 18th sloka, Arjuna's affirmation of Krishna's opulence and Arjuna's divine hunger. So now here Arjuna is perfectly able to understand. I mean, he is already understanding Krishna is not just ordinary man. But for all of us, Arjuna again reaffirms Krishna's position. Okay, Arjuna tells, Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavan. Arjuna said, you are the supreme personality of Godhead, the ultimate abode, the purest, the absolute truth. You are the eternal, transcendental, original person, the unborn, the greatest. All the great sages such as Narada, Asita Devala, and Vyasa confirm this truth about you. And you are now yourself declaring it to me. Okay. So Arjuna is reconfirming that, oh Lord, whatever you have told, you are Param Brahma. Means we are all a Brahman. The energies of Supreme God is called Brahman. But he is actually the source of all that Brahman. That's why it's called Param Brahman. He is Param Dhama, he is abode of everything. He is supremely pure. He is Param Bhavan, he is supreme Godhead. And he is Purusha. Supreme Godhead is Purusha. So his Purusha means he's male. I mean, he is the transcendental male. Okay. Okay. So sometimes people, they have little confusion. Hey, who is God? God is male or female? Or sometimes they say that male also, female also. But ultimately, Supreme God is actually the supreme male or supreme Purusha. Okay. And his name is Krishna. Okay. So Adi Devam Ajam Vibhum. And he is actually the source of all those Devatas, Devam. He Ajam, he won't take birth. I have already discussed in 4th chapter how Krishna tells that I have given the same knowledge to Sun God billions of years before. And I'm not able to, I'm able to remember everything, but you have forgotten. Because you change body, but I won't change body. People seemingly, I feel like seemingly people understand, or seemingly it behooves that I have changed the body, but I never change the body. I won't take birth. I just come in self-same body. And we see also in Krishna's pastimes, once Krishna had taken Arjuna with him and gone beyond this universe, practically beyond this universe. Uh, so crossing all that different layers, we have in this particular earth also different spheres, atmospheres, hemisphere, I mean atmosphere, ozonosphere, lithosphere, and all stuff. Okay. And then comes the radiation belt, and nobody can go ahead. Nobody can go ahead. Okay. So, but Krishna has gone to even Yamaloka with self-same body. Okay. He had gone to Mahavishnu also. It comes in Srimad Bhagavad Puran. Why? Because he is not with the body like us. It behooves, it seems like he's having similar body like us, but he comes in self-same body. Okay. But to relate with us, to does some pastimes which can be like related, like it behooves like, okay, yeah, something is going like similar like human beings. So he takes up, or he changes the quality so that people could understand that, yeah, uh, he's like us. Okay. To just make them, I mean transcendental illusion. Okay. So it's not only me I'm telling, but there are great sages who have perfectly confirmed this. Who are they? Devarsi Naradas Ahususta Rishya Sarve. All those rishis, Narada Muni, Asita, Devala, Vyasa, everybody has confirmed this. So Krishna is having various attributes. So that's what Arjuna described as all things Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram, Param Bhavan. So now let's go ahead. Only Krishna knows himself, because he is Purushottama, greatest of all persons. He is Bhut Bhavana, origin of everything. Like suppose uh, all of you might be someone's son, or might be someone's father, right? Or someone's mother. So if your son comes, maybe after you have grown up 30 years, 35 years, your son has born, and he grew to maybe around 10, and then you grew around 40, 45. So always you have full confidence that your son won't know better than you, more than you. Okay. Because his experience is less. He has just come just 10 years before, but you are living for 45 years. Okay. So similarly, Supreme Godhead is Bhuta Bhavana. He's origin of everything. He's origin of everything. So how, or what has been originated from can know the person who is actually the originator? Impossible. He is Bhutesh, a lot of everything. He is Devadeva, Lord of all those devas. He is Jagatpati, Lord of entire universe. Okay. So that's why Nobody can know Krishna. Even many times it has been told, Krishna himself to say, I myself don't know how much great I am. Because as soon as I figure out a way, I'm such a great person, immediately my opulences increases again. Okay, so his opulences are increasing, ever increasing. It's not just simply constant. Okay, it's ever increasing. So Arjuna wants to hear more of Lord's opulences. So this is called his transcendental divine hunger. Okay, so for why he want to hear more? Because he want to do welfare of all people of this age of Kali Yuga, which we are actually. We are gonna go come after battlefield of Kurukshetra gets over. After battlefield of Kurukshetra gets over, after that Lord Krishna immediately winds up his pastimes, and the day Lord Krishna departs from this world, the Kali Yuga begins. Some 5,000, some 100 years before the Kali Yuga begins, and this whole Bhagavad Gita is for whom? For us, for the people of this age of Kali Yuga, for all of us, for welfare of common people. And also the second most important, even more important than this, is Arjuna's finding narrations of glories of the Lord very, very tasteful. Okay, so life lesson from this section is Vaishnavas like Arjuna are the best well-wishers of the living entities at large. Okay, so they are the best well-wishers. They know what is actually needed for the people in general. They won't have any, like, dirt. There is no lack of no roti kapda makan. Everything is there for everyone. Only problem is that people have actually got disconnected with the Supreme Godhead, and that's why they are suffering mental agony like anything. They have food like anything, but they cannot eat. They have home like anything, but they cannot stay in home. They have medical facilities like anything, but they are suffering with the diseases, health problems, issues, so many things. Why? Because they have forgotten the address. They're forgetting the connectivity to the Supreme Godhead. They have forgotten Lord Rama, and they want Ram Rajya. So this is the problem with the people of this world. That's why Krishna is being requested by Arjuna that, oh Lord, please tell me more of your wonderful opulences. Okay, so now next, the second lesson is that from this particular section, the test of spiritual advancement is in increase of hunger to hear about Krishna. Okay, so if we are more eager, like if you are eager more and more to hear about Krishna, then means you are quite advanced person in spiritual emancipation, in the path of spiritual emancipation. So whatever we do, so many acts we do, so many things we do, but if you're not able to get this particular test, it is waste of time. That's why waste of labor. It's just simply a labor for nothing. That's why Srimad Bhagavatam tells, Shrama eva hi kevalam. Swanushtita punsa vishwaksena kathasuya notpadya yadiratim sram eva hi kevalam. Somebody works so much, so big scholars, big doctorate degrees, big business and everything, but couldn't get even a single small little fraction of test in hearing the narrations and divine pastimes and glories and opulences of Supreme Godhead, means sram eva hi kevalam. Everything is just zero. So now let's go ahead to the next section, section 4. From 19th sloka till 42nd sloka. Krishna now goes ahead to describe his wonderful, unlimited opulences. Okay, so Krishna's opulences are unlimited. There is no end of Krishna's opulences. Krishna himself tells Arjuna, my opulences are unlimited, but because you are eager and hungry to hear about my opulences, I will tell you, but most prominent ones. Okay, most prominent ones. So what are the most prominent opulences that Krishna is going to tell? The first and foremost thing what Krishna tells, that, see Arjuna, I am the beginning, middle and end of everything what you are able to see or not able to see. Okay, so in this one sloka only Krishna tells everything. I am the beginning, middle and end of everything, or all beings, all those Kala Chakra, the whole time, everything, even time is also manifestation of Supreme Godhead Krishna. So in this way, Krishna, first of all, he concludes, again he takes up, he gives most prominent opulences, he describes, and after that he again concludes. Okay, so what is opulence? My opulences are unlimited. We'll say the most prominent ones. Now he goes ahead. Adityas, I am Vishnu. So Aditya means the son of Aditi. Different demigods, so different devatas. Among them Rudra, Indra, they are all most prominent. So among them, Lord Vishnu, Vamana, is the foremost one, the most predominating one, prominent one. So Krishna says, I am that Vishnu or Vamana. Among luminaries, I am sun. Among stars, I am moon. Among the Vedas, I am Samaveda. Among the demigods, I am Indra. Among senses, I am mind. Among living beings, I am consciousness. Among Rudras, there are 11 Rudras. Rudras means Lord Shiva's expansions, who becomes very, very active when there is time of universal cataclysm or universal destruction. Okay, so these all 11 Rudras, they get into action and everything becomes massed, burns, and finishes everything. Okay, so among them 11 Rudras, the most prominent is Lord Shankara. Okay, so now the list is very big, so I have listed this all down. So then Krishna goes ahead, tells Yakshas and Rakshasas, I'm among Yakshas and Rakshasas, I'm Kuvera. Among Vashus, I'm Agni. Amongst mountains, I'm Meru. Among priests, I'm Brihaspati. Among commanders, I'm Kartikeya. Among water bodies, I'm Ocean. Great sages, I'm Bhrigu. Among different vibrations, I'm Omkara. Different yajna, sacrifices, I am Japa. Amongst immovable things, I am Himalaya. Okay, we see among the different hills and mountains, Lord Krishna says, I am Meru. We can find here. But among the immovable things, Himalaya is great. Okay, so we see this particular mountain, Meru, is movable, but Himalaya is immovable. Among trees, I am banyan tree. Among sages, among demigods, I am Narada. Among Gandharvas, I am Chitratha. Among perfected beings, I am Kapil. Among horses, I am Uchchaishrava. Among lordly elephants, I am Airavat. Among men, I am king. Among weapons, I am thunderbolt. Among cows, I am the mother of all cows, Surabhi. Among cause of all procreation, I am Kandarpa, the lust which arises to create progeny. I am among serpents, I am Vasuki. Among many hooded snakes, I am Ananta. Among aquatics, I am Varuna. Among ancestors, I am Aryama. Dispensers of law, I am Yama. Among demons, I am Prahlad. Among subduers, I am time. Time is something which subdues everyone. No matter how much powerful one could be, but when time passes, everything passes. Okay, so time is the greatest subduer. No matter how much great one could be, but as time goes ahead, everybody's time, everybody's, I mean, that influential position, influence, everything decreases. Okay, then Krishna goes ahead, I am beasts. Among beasts, I am lion. Among birds, I am Garuda. Among purifying agents, I am wind. Holders of weapons, I am Lord Rama or Parshurama. Among fishes, I am Makar. Among rivers, I am Ganga. In creation, I am beginning, middle, and end. Okay, so all are originating from my splendor, O Arjuna. Everything is spreading. Everything, whatever is you are able to see, all those kingly things, royal things, everything is emanating from me. Whatever you will to see, the most beautiful things. Okay, whatever you are, if you are feeling like, oh, this thing is something very beautiful, you understand that it's my creation only. Okay, and whatever is of very great power or great valor, you must understand that I have given this valor and power to him. Okay, so all that royal thing, all those most beautiful things or whatever beauty we are able to see in this world, and whatever energy or energetic the power anybody exhibits or shows, all that is coming from my splendor, O Arjuna. Then Krishna tells, what is the need of the all things? My opulences are unlimited, unlimited. You will keep hearing whole life, it will never finish, never finish. Okay, that's why it is told, Lord Hari's opulences are ananta. Hari ananta, Hari katha ananta. Means his opulences are unlimited and he also unlimited. And there is another expansion of Supreme God, he's called Ananta. He chants his glories with Ananta in his unlimited mouths, but still he's not able to finish. Then immediately Krishna tells that, oh Arjuna, अथवा बहुनैतेन किम ज्ञातेन तवार्जुन विष्टभ्यहम idam कृत्स्नम ekansena sthuto jagat. What is the need? What need is there, Arjuna, for all this detailed knowledge? With a single fragment of myself, I parade and support this entire universe. Single fragment that we have already seen in the beginning of our session. How Krishna has expanded himself as Mahavishnu. And from Mahavishnu comes Garbhodakshay Vishnu. And from Garbhodakshay Vishnu comes, I mean, Shirodakshay Vishnu, and from Garbhodakshay Vishnu also comes Brahmaji, and from the Brahma, the whole the secondary creation starts, and it's going on. And in this all things, all this drama is happening just in the course of Mahavishnu's exhalation. Can you imagine? We exhale and inhale, and similarly Mahavishnu also exhale and inhale. Okay, so of course God has made man in his own image. So God has made something which is actually have already existing. So Lord Mahavishnu also exhales and inhales. So when he exhales, all universes are coming out, and it remains till the time the exhalation is going on. And when he inhales, then all universes just simply gets into his abdomen back again. So we can understand what is a universal time, and it is just flash for Mahavishnu, just exhalation. Now, what is the time period of our exhalation? Very, very insignificant. So we can understand the time is so vast and eternal. And beyond time and beyond universe, there is person Mahavishnu. And that Mahavishnu is just a small fraction of the fraction incarnation of Supreme Lord Krishna, who is there in Golok Vrindavan. Okay, so in this way, Lord Krishna concludes that life lesson for all of us is that leaving the attempt to understand unlimited Krishna through tiny brain, we must engage in his devotional service to attain him. That's it. Okay, that's actually something we can actually have. That and the devotional service of the Supreme Lord is readily available for all of us, and Krishna has already told in 9th chapter how to do that. Patram pushpam phalam tam. You just offer me leaves, water, simple water, flowers and fruits. I accept it. Okay, you think about me, you pay obeisances to me. It's very, very simple. Otherwise, muhyanti at surya, great demigods, great devata like Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma get confused and forget about us. Okay, so again, coming once again to the end of this particular chapter. Now let's go ahead. What we discussed till now. So in the first section, we discussed how Krishna is origin of all creatures and all beings. In that we saw how Krishna understanding is proportionate with the loving reciprocation with Krishna. Not just we can screw Krishna's knowledge out and we can understand it. It's just impossible. This particular session is going on with all of us together. This is also devotion service. That's how you have to understand it. And that too with a person who is actually connected with Guru Shishya Parampara, which is directly coming from Lord Krishna. Okay, so in this way we can understand how God is great. Okay, it's not enough to know just God is great, but we must know how God is great. So in second section we saw how there is three things: Sambandha, Avideya, and Prayojana. Sambandha means the knowledge of relationship with God and the living beings. And Avideya means the process to attain Him. And third is the attainment. Okay. So we see how Krishna is telling that those who are intelligent beings, they really engage themselves in my service, devotion service. And there is symptoms mentioned by Krishna, that what are the symptoms of those people who get engaged. They're always happy and blissful in the course of exchange of knowledge about me, about glorification, about glory, when they glorify me between amongst themselves, like as we are doing now. Okay, so in this way, Lord Krishna concludes this chatuh-Sloki Bhagavad Gita. 4 slokas, whole Bhagavad Gita is there in 4 slokas. And ultimately Krishna says also in chatuh-Sloki Bhagavad Gita that those who takes up this process sincerely, I stays in their heart and I illuminates the heart. Whatever nonsense is there in the heart and darkness, I remove them very mercifully. So then we saw from 12th sloka till 18th sloka, Arjuna's affirmation of and divine hunger. Okay, so Arjuna affirms, he understands perfectly that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead who has appeared here to do some. That was the most critical point in Dwapar Yuga. Whole world is like just shaking like anything, just because Lord Krishna had appeared. And for paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya duskritam, Arjuna could understand. Arjuna had full understanding that Krishna is supreme Godhead, but because he was so much into love with Krishna, so sometimes he becomes very much fraternal with him. But we see also in how next chapter Lord Krishna is going to describe, exhibit himself. Not till now here described, but in 11th chapter he is going to exhibit himself as how he is so much opulent, whole universe, how he is spreaded in a universal form. Okay, so taste of spiritual advancement is in taste of Krishna's talk. Okay, if we are uh, if we are actually having taste in hearing about Krishna, more and more and more, if you want to hear more, okay, not just 1 hour, just let's go ahead some more. Okay, so why only 50 minutes, some more. Okay, means that is actually a test of spiritual advancements. Okay, now the next section we saw how Krishna opulences are unlimited. Krishna's unlimited opulences never can be ascertained by anyone, whether Brahma, Lord Shiva, or anyone. So living the attempt to understand Krishna, living deities, for all of us, we must do devotional service. In this way, we can actually serve Krishna and know Him in the proportion. And when He gets pleased, really, He reveals Himself in His self form as well. Okay, so just as we see each other, similarly in that way, Krishna also starts reciprocating. Okay, so thank you so much. Hare Krishna. So if you have any uh, question and comment, you can of course write down in the particular that WhatsApp group. And I really recommend and I pray to all of you that please, if you have any take home points, please write down in the WhatsApp group. Okay, so that will be very much encouraging for all of us. Just 2 take home points or whatever you feel like I could remember. Okay, so that will be of great encouragement for all our other participants as well. Okay, and if you have a question, anything, you can of course ask in the group also. In group only you can ask. Okay, so I can wait